Fontaine was a riding mechanic for Ralph De Palma when he won the 1915 Indianapolis 500. He raced IndyCars from 1912 to 1921, starring 6 races and getting a best finish of 10th place at Chicago in 1917. Here he sits in his car prior to the 1921 500, where he started 7th, but finished 21st due to a crash after losing his brakes after 33 laps. Saylor was an early Grand Prix driver who raced exclusively for Mercedes, where he started working as an engineer. His only national championship race was at Indianapolis in 1923, where he finished 9th, although his nephew Carlos Saylor drove 128 of 200 laps in the car. The elder Saylor also drove 19 laps of relief for Christian Werner, finishing 11th. After retiring from driving, he served as Mercedes Director of Competition from 1924 to 1942 and was a director with the company until his death in 1964. Here is Saylor at the 1914 French Grand Prix, where he set the fastest lap but finished 32nd due to an engine failure after 5 laps. Barbarino was mostly a riding mechanic and relief driver. He was also a car and chassis builder, bricklayer, cement manufacturer, and operator of a car repair business. Barbarino's only IndyCar race was at Indianapolis in 1920, where he drove 15 laps of relief for Louis Chevrolet and finished 18th. No picture is available. Cariens started a pair of AAA National Championship races at Altoona in 1924, where he started on the pole position and finished 8th, in Culver City in 1925, where he finished 14th. Additionally, Cariens drove 12 laps of relief for Bennett Hill at the 1925 500, finishing 18th, and finished 3rd in an exhibition race at Culver City in 1925. Here he is as Joe Thomas's riding mechanic prior to the 1921 Indianapolis 500, where they finished 22nd. Heywood was a sprint car and midget driver who mostly competed in the Western United States. He won the 1982 USAC BCRA Western States Midget Championship. Heywood's only kart race was at Ontario in 1980, where he started 36th and finished 32nd due to an oil leak after 14 laps. He continued to race through 2018 and was also a co-founder of Coast Fabrication. Here he is in a 1984 sprint car race at Ascot Park. After winning the 1986 North American Formula Atlantic Division Championship, Goodyear raced IndyCars from 1987 to 2001, starting 136 races and winning 5 of them. He nearly won the 1995 Indianapolis 500, but after passing the pace car with 10 laps to go, Goodyear was disqualified for the final 5 laps, causing him to finish 14th. He also finished 2nd in 1992 and 1997. From 2002 to 2018, Goodyear served as a color commentator for ESPN and ABC's coverage of IndyCar. Here he is on his way to victory at the 1994 Michigan 500. Moraes was a Brazilian driver who competed in the IRL from 2008 to 2010. Starring 50 races, he would get a best finish of 3rd place at Chicagoland in 2009. Moraes retired from racing following the 2010 season because his father's death in 2009 meant that his family was less willing to fund his racing career. Currently, he is involved in sports and racing administration and is involved in his family's industrial conglomerate business. Here is Moraes at Chicagoland in 2009.